Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in a memorable play and beautiful picture, On Borrowed Time, starring Lionel Barrymore as Gramp, Agnes Moorehead as Aunt Demetria, Vincent Price as Mr. Brink, and Ted Donaldson as Pud. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in On Borrowed Time.
Pretty lonely road. Want a lift, stranger?
Thank you, no. I'm waiting for someone else. A gentleman and a lady.
Sorry. Thought you signaled me.
No. No, not yet.
Can we give you a lift, sir?
Thank you very much.
I'm afraid we're not going very far.
As far as you're going, it will be far enough.
It's such a lonely road. We tried... Jim, look out! Oh!
That was Jim Northrop. Dr. James Northrop and his wife, Sue. They live... Oh, forgive me. They used to live in the big white house set back from the road. The one that has the apple tree in back. Haven't been to that house in a long time now. Not since I took Dr. Jim's mother. 12 years ago that was, and I haven't been back since. Still, it seems to me I've got a call to make there. Someone. Well, I'd better look at the list. Let me see now. Oh, yes, here it is. Mr. Julian Northrop, age 74. Has been living with Dr. Jim and his wife and devoting himself to his grandson.
Look at them worms running away. Boy, they must have heard we're going fishing.
Oh, think we'll catch a lot of fish today, Gramp? Huh? Think we'll catch a whole lot of fish?
Like as not, Bud.
Oh, think we'll catch a whale?
Can't never say, boy.
You wouldn't be afraid of a whale, would you, Gramp?
Darn right I wouldn't.
Not even a great big giant whale?
Ain't never run from one yet. Come on, we're wasting time. Let's call that dog and get going. Betty! Here, Betty. Where in thunder's that smelly old hound?
Oh, I like the way she smells.
The way that fool dog keeps running all day, she ain't much more than skin and bones. Getting to look just like your Aunt Demetria.
Aunt Demetria's a pismire.
Where'd you learn to call your aunt that?
From you. That's what you called her, Gramp. What's a pismire?
A pismire is one of the meanest ants there is. And your Aunt Demetria is a pismire. A narrow-minded, trouble-making, blue-nosed old pismire. Hey, that's off my chest now. Let's go fishing, boy.
Sorry, Mr. Northrop. No fishing today. Because just as you're going out of the gate...
Julian, wait.
Oh, it's Aunt Demetria.
Oh, doggone the luck. What is it, Demi? What are you doing here?
Julian, inside, please. Not in front of the boy. I've got to talk to you alone.
Yes, Mr. Northrop. She's brought the news about your son and his wife, Pud's father and mother. You're going to have a bad week of it, sir. The shock, of course. But at last you'll be at peace again, alone in your garden, just you and Pud.
Gramp, what were you talking to the minister about?
Oh, a gift I made to the church in your dad's name. A good deed done, if I say so myself.
Gramp, did you do a good deed?
Well, so to speak, I give a mite more than was looked for, son.
If you do a good deed, well, you can make a wish and it'll come true.
That's so, boy?
Oh, that's what my storybook says.
Must be so then.
Oh, so make a wish, Gramp. Huh? Make a wish.
All right, boy, just as soon as I think up a good one.
Oh, I know what I'd wish. Gramp, where do people go when they die?
Where the woodbine twineth.
Grandfather, Are you gonna die?
Not yet, wild boy.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, now don't you fret, bud. I'll be with you a long time yet. I feel spry as a cricket.
Oh, I'm glad. 'Cause I love you, Grandpa. I think I love you best of anybody in the world.
Oh, thank you, son. Thank you. It means a whole lot to me. A whole lot.
Yes. Hold his hand, Mr. Northrop. Hold it tightly, sir. You haven't much time together, you know. I'm not referring only to myself. There's his Aunt Demetria. At this very moment, she's with Mr. Pilbeam. That's right, Mr. Northrop. With Pilbeam, the lawyer.
You understand, it's nothing personal, Phineas. But I don't think the boy should be left to grow up with an addle-pated old man like that.
Now, Demi, them two set a heap of store by each other.
Bud should be going to school, learning to be a gentleman. A good school. After all, the boy's not a pauper, is he?
Well...
Now, Phineas, you needn't be so professional with me. Remember, I'm his mother's sister. Jim must have left at least 50,000.
55.
I knew it. I mean, well, with all that money, the boy needs someone to take care of him. And, Phineas, I'm going to do something about it.
Hey, Graham, come on. There's a kid up in our apple tree.
I'm coming. Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, up there. Look.
Hey, you thieving young rascal. Come down out of that tree. Hey, wait a minute now, you varmint. Wait.
Oh, Gramp, he didn't wait. He got away. You always let him get away.
Well, can I help it if they run? I swear, I wish that anyone who climbs that tree would have to stay up there till I let him down.
Oh, Gramps, you made a wish. A wish. You wished anybody would have to stay up in the tree until you let him down.
Yeah, a lot of good it'll do me.
Oh, gee, Gramps, I bet we catch one of those kids up there and maybe keep him up there for 19 years. Maybe for 100 years.
Why, Pud, darling.
Oh, sure, Demetria.
Well, now has my little boy a great big kiss for his Aunt Demetria today.
Oh, gee.
Go ahead, Bud. Go on. Give her a kiss.
I don't wanna. She kisses too wet.
Julian Northrop, you taught him that.
I have not. It's his own idea.
Denying the child a little love and comfort. And his parents hardly cold in their graves.
Oh, stop that, you fool.
I have some rights. I'm his aunt. Bud, come here.
I don't wanna.
Bud, you hear me?
Oh, leave the boy alone.
You keep quiet, Julian. He's coming to me.
Heck he is.
The heck I am.
There. That's what I mean. Oh, you wicked old man. You white sepulcher.
What?
Oh.
White ship? Not. Well, by Jupiter now, that does it. You get out of here, Demi.
What?
Get off my property.
What?
And if I ever catch you here again, you squid-faced old bird stuffer, I'll wring your blasted neck and dance on you.
Well, that's telling her, Gramps. That's telling her.
Oh, go on, you mischief-making old harridan.
You pismire, you.
Oh, this is awful. This is awful.
Oh, she's gone, Gramps. She's gone.
She makes me so mad. She gets me so gall-darn head up.
I'll bring you a glass of water, Gramps. Just sit there on the bench and wait.
Pretty garden like this, getting all messed up with people like that. After this, ain't nobody coming in here but... How's that?
Mr. Julian Northrop, I believe.
Huh? Well, I didn't catch it.
Most people don't hear me the first time.
Say, who are you? What do you want?
I request that you come with me,
Where to? Where you going?
where the woodbine twineth.
Where the wood... Oh, say, I said that. I made it up. Say, who the devil are you, anyway?
You may call me Mr. Brink.
Well, Mr. Brink, I don't know you, and I don't like you. I don't like any part of you, see? So get the blazes out of here before I...
Mr. Northrop.
Go on now, get out of here!
Anything wrong? Who are you shouting at that way?
Why, this fella here, Marcia, he comes up to me and he says...
Mr. Northrop, there isn't anyone here.
Huh?
You must have been napping.
Yeah, maybe I was.
Well, you'd better come in and get ready for supper. I'll have everything on in a couple of minutes.
It's funny. I wasn't napping. I wasn't drinking either.
Oh, here you are, Gramp. Here's your water.
Oh, thank you, son. Thanks.
Gramp, who is that man?
Eh? You seen him, son?
Oh, sure. Going down the walk. Who was he, Gramp?
Well, I ain't rightly sure. Let's go on in, boy. It's getting kind of chilly.
How you feeling, Gramp? You feeling better today?
That ain't no question to ask, my boy. I always feel good. Never felt better in my life.
Oh, me too. Can I climb up and pick some apples, Gramp?
Well, I reckon you can. Be careful, though.
Oh, sure.
Not too high now.
Well, I won't. And you know, Gramp, I can't get down until you let me. That was your wish.
Guess it was, boy.
Well, hope you don't keep me up here too long, though.
Oh, well, maybe a week. Maybe 100 years. It depends on how I feel.
Oh, no, Gramp.
I might leave you up there and go into town and get me a chocolate soda.
Oh, then I'm coming down, Gramp.
Yep. I think I'll go right along now.
Well, wait for me, Gramp. Gramp.
What's the trouble, son?
Oh, Gramp, I can't get loose. I can't get down.
Of course you can't. Not till I tell you.
Oh, Gramp, I mean it. Honest. Please let me down, please.
Well, come on, then. Come on. Let's go, honey.
Oh.
What's the matter, boy? What's wrong with you?
I couldn't let go. The tree was holding me.
Ah, shucks. That old apple tree couldn't hold no one.
Oh, yes, it could, Gramp. You wished it could.
Yeah. Well, so I...
Gramp. What's the matter, Gramp?
I don't know, boy. I don't know. All of a sudden, I felt kind of weak.
Mr. Northrop?
Oh, so it's you again, huh? What do you want butting in here like this?
I thought perhaps you'd like to come with me now.
Now, look here, Brink. I ain't going with you at all. I'm staying with Pud. You're about as welcome as a fly on a currant bun. You understand?
Your similitudes are a trifle earthy, sir, but your meaning is clear.
Similitudes. Hear that, Bud? What kind of talk is that?
I'm sure. What kind of talk is that? Mister, you can't talk worth snakes.
That's right now. Go on, get off my property.
My dear man, let's not argue. Come on now. Take my hand.
No. I can't. Please, Mr. Brink, if you'll just wait.
Gramp, I know. If you can get him up that tree.
Shh, boy.
Mr. Northrop, are you ready?
Mr. Brink, I reckon I got to do what you say. But first, could I have one of my golden russets? I hate to leave 'em up there, spoiling to be et like that.
Oh, very well, but be quick. I have many appointments.
Could you just kind of fetch me one? I can't climb that tree the way I used to.
It's a curious request, but why not?
Look, Gramp. He's going up. He's going up.
I said be still now.
Mr. Northrop, will this one do?
Well, they're riper, little higher up.
This one?
No, not that one, nor any of them. Now I got you up that tree, you got to stay there till I let you down.
Here's look at him trying to get away.
He can't. He mustn't.
Oh, Gramp, you got him. You got him, Gramp.
By golly, boy, I think I have.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
This is April 1st, the traditional day for fooling friends. But do please be careful not to fool yourself. For April is the month when many women do fool themselves about proper care for their skin. You see, winter months leave the skin dried and roughened with a sort of drab and faded look, especially against the freshness of a new spring bonnet. So what do many women do? They rush out and buy a lot of expensive creams and lotions, April fooling themselves good and proper. For all you really need is just one cream Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. This one cream is all your skin needs for a complete spring cleaning and conditioning. Lady Esther Face Cream instantly absorbs and removes that flaky winter dryness. It instantly makes the skin look softer and pliant again. Yes, younger again. There's no fooling about that. I will show you unmistakable proof right on your own skin by means of my patch test. And you don't need to wait 30 days or even 30 minutes. I show you the proof in 30 seconds. Listen, just smooth Lady Esther face cream on one patch of skin, like one cheek. Then wipe it off. And compare that cheek with the other. See the radiant difference. Feel the difference with your fingertips. Lady Esther face cream thoroughly cleans your skin, softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and it leaves a wonderfully smooth, clear base for powder. So why not fool yourself? Take 30 seconds and prove to yourself. You need only this one cream. Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream.
Well, so you've done it, Mr. Northrop. You've got me up a tree. You shouldn't have, you know. This will lead to all sorts of things. Besides, I can't be dignified up here. I really ought to do something about it. Yes, as a matter of fact, I will.
Gramp, look, Gramp, he's gone.
Gone? Mr. Brink, you gone?
Certainly not.
Oh.
But hereafter I shall be invisible.
Huh?
It's so much less embarrassing this way. But of course there are some who know I'm here. Your dog, for example.
Betty, get down. Hear me, Betty? Betty, I said go.
Jiminy, she just touched the tree and fell right down. Gramp, I better...
No, don't touch it, bud. Don't touch it. Don't go near that tree. I'll have a look.
Oh, Gramp, what's the matter? Why don't she get up?
I'm afraid she can't, son. She's dead.
Yes, now you're worried, Mr. Northrop, aren't you? My, you'll have a busy day. You'll bring in a gang of carpenters, won't you, and build a fence around my tree. Yes, but my dear man, you're still not safe. You've forgotten something. Demetria. Right now, while you're building, she's busy, too. I'm afraid she's with Pilbeam, the lawyer, again.
You see, Phineas, I was just going by, and when I saw them unloading all that lumber, well, naturally, I stopped to...
Snoop?
Phineas, I tell you, it's incredible. He was talking to some man named Brink, an invisible man in the apple tree.
Yes, but why should Julian build that fence?
He thinks anyone who touches that tree will die. Now, what do you say?
Sounds sort of crazy to me.
Precisely. Julian's old and his mind is snapped. And we've got to get that boy away from him. Right now, today.
What you aiming to do?
Well, I want you to send Dr. Evans out there. And if what I've just told you is the truth, well, we'll do everything according to the law.
So Demetria's been talking to you, has she, Doc?
Oh, not very much, Julian. Just about this Mr. Brink.
I might have known.
Aunt Demetria's a...
Bud, don't you dare say that word now. Now then, Doc.
Well, what's the answer, Julian?
It's the truth, as sure as I'm standing here, Doc.
You mean there's someone sitting up in that tree?
Yup, Mr. Brink.
Well, if you say so, but...
Tell him about it, Gramp.
Yep, I figure I better, son. Doc, you might as well know. Nobody can die anymore until I say so. Unless they touch that tree or them apples. Or Mr. Brink himself.
I see. And can you talk to this Mr. Brink?
Oh, sure I can. Why?
Well, I just thought perhaps if you tried to talk to him, well, maybe you'd find he isn't there anymore.
All right. By golly, I'll let you hear him. Mr. Brink, can you hear me?
Sir?
Hear that, Doc? He calls me sir.
I'm sorry, Julian, I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, well, I'll be... Say, what in blazes is the matter? Am I going nuts? Honestly, didn't nobody hear him but me?
I did, Gramp.
Bud.
I heard him call you sir.
Stop, that's it. That is it, exactly.
Julian, my good friend.
Yes, sir, that's exactly what he said. So I guess you know where that leaves you, Doc.
Yes, I'm afraid I do. I'll be back to see you later, Julian.
Oh, sure, Doc. Anytime. Say, by the way,
Yes?
you needn't worry none about your patients dying now, no matter what you do for them.
Goodbye, Julian. I'll be back.
Well, I reckon that's that.
Gramp, why couldn't he hear Mr. Brink?
Oh, I guess he's too busy, boy. That's right, Mr. Brink?
I have neither the inclination nor the authorization to dispense information relevant to your inquiry.
Wow.
Oh, he still talks funny. Gramp, I'm going to go play train.
Yeah, sure, Pud. Go ahead. Go right along.
Choo, 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 ding, ding.
Oh, great boy, all right. Don't you think so, Mr. Brink?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, say, I've been meaning to ask you, did you notice the shower last night?
Yes?
Get wet?
No.
Mind the rain much?
No, I love the rain. I like sad things.
Oh, not me. I like things cheerful. Pictures and dancing and music, especially music. About the only sad song I ever cottoned to was Crossing the Bar. I guess you know that one, all right. Funny, I figured they must go in for Tennyson and, up there.
Tennyson? Sententious man, as I recall. Kept ranting about a little flower in a cranny wall. Wanted everything to be so perfect.
Well, now, it's mighty hard to get any improvements down here, you know. I guess it's different with you, huh?
With us, the improvements are in the individual.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. Mm-mm. If a man's a good Republican, maybe a Mason or an Elk, that's good enough for me. But I always say live and let live.
You can hardly expect me to second that. Mr. Northrop, I trust you realize what you're doing. I mean, by keeping me up here.
Well, sure I do. If I let you down, you're bound and determined you're going to take me, aren't you?
You will be the first.
There you are. So up you stay.
You're a stubborn man, Mr. Northrop, but I warn you, no more stubborn than I.
Look out for Casey Johnson, there's express. Woo, woo, here I come. Choo, choo.
Oh, Pud.
Huh?
Up here, Pud, in the tree.
Oh. Say, I can see you again.
That's right. I want to talk to you, my little man.
I am not your little man. I'm Gramps. I'll spit in your eye.
You might find that difficult.
Why?
I'm afraid you couldn't reach me.
I could, too.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't even climb a tree.
Oh, sure I can. I climbed that tree before you got up it. I climbed down again. Now, that's more than you can do.
Well, you're right about that. But you couldn't do it now, Pud. Why, you can't even climb this fence.
I could do it with one hand.
You could? Well, let's see you.
All right.
Yeah, that's it, Pud. That's right. Now, steady now. Now, up. Get one leg over. That's the way. There, that's splendid. Well, I guess you can do anything.
Golly, I can see far up here.
Yes, very far.
Gee, why do you whisper like that, Mr. Brink?
Look at me, Pud.
Golly, you got funny eyes. They make me dizzy.
Keep looking, Pud. Don't turn away. Now, take my hand. Come on. Reach. A little further, lad. That's it.
Pud! Gramps, I'm dizzy. I can't see. I'm gonna fall. Oh, Gramps, my back hurts. Oh, it hurts awful. Gramps, where are you?
I'm right here, son. Right here. Brung you out in the garden. Thought maybe you'd like it for a change. Oh, now, try to sleep, son. Try to sleep.
Oh, sure. Gotta sleep, Gramps. Going fishing tomorrow. Going fishing.
Mr. Brink?
Yes, Mr. Northrop? How is he today?
Oh, no better. Doctor says he'll never walk again. Why did you let him do it, Mr. Brink?
My dear man, I didn't mean to hurt him. I just meant to take him. It was my only hope of getting down from here.
Mr. Brink?
Yes?
If I let you come down, would you make a bargain, Mr. Brink?
Well, I think I'd entertain any reasonable proposal.
I mean, I just can't stand watching him in pain like that. And I wouldn't want to leave him with his Aunt Demetria, so, that is, if you could see your way.
You mean to take him too?
Please. Would you, Mr. Brink?
I'd be very glad to.
Thank you. Hey, I reckon I tried to bite off more than I could chew.
Much more. Are you ready for me now? The two of you?
Yeah. The two of us. Come on down and get us, please.
Thank you all. The Motion Picture Relief Fund is indeed grateful for your fine performances. And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Fashions and powder shades come and go, but Lady Esther Bridal Pink seems to grow more popular all the time. I think I can tell you why. Because Bridal Pink is practically foolproof. It removes guesswork from choosing your powder shade. You know Bridal Pink will be flattering to your skin, for it's blended a new and special way, blended to flatter almost every skin it touches. So it doesn't matter whether your hair is blonde, brown, auburn, or black. Bridal Pink face powder will actually glorify your own natural coloring, heighten its richness and beauty, make you look more interesting. This new and fascinating powder shade has been tested on thousands of lovely faces of every type. Women write me that Bridal Pink gives even a drab-looking skin an instant look of life and warmth. They say it softens the contours of the face and makes it look years younger. Many women say that Bridal Pink even makes their features look smaller and daintier. As for texture, Lady Esther face powder is so exceptionally fine, it completely covers tiny lines and blemishes, and it clings for long hours, fresh and fragrant as though just applied. Present a dazzling new appearance to your family and friends tomorrow. Start with Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream. Rub it on, wipe it off, and then apply Lady Esther Bridal Pink Face Powder. Bridal Pink, the shade that's so young and gay, so distinctly glamorous.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Barbary Coast. It will star Claire Trevor and Brian Donlevy. Be sure to listen. On Borrowed Time was presented through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of A.J. Cronin's The Green Years. Vincent Price will soon be seen in the 20th Century Fox production, Dragonwyck. Lionel Barrymore and Agnes Moorehead appeared through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of the Technicolor musical Ziegfeld Follies. They both can be heard on the Mayor of the Town broadcast every Saturday night over this station. Ted Donaldson is currently working in the Columbia picture, The Return of Rusty. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, A Night to Remember. The starring players...
This is Claire Trevor.
This is Brian Dunleavy. Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in Columbia Pictures' delightful comedy mystery, A Night to Remember. It stars Claire Trevor as Nancy Troy and Brian Donlevy as her husband, Jeff. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in A Night to Remember. I had a strange feeling about the place right from the start. First, and then...
Jeff,
Yes?
there's something crawling across the floor.
The address was 39 Gay Street, New York. An artist might call that Greenwich Village. A social worker would call it the slums. Sure, I pointed all that out to Nancy, but she was sort of sensitive, I guess, and because she'd rented the place without even asking me, and, well, anyway, you know how women are.
Now, Jeff, I've said it all before.
Many times, darling.
And I'll say it again. If you're going to write a novel about Greenwich Village, then you ought to live in Greenwich Village.
You funny man.
Quite frankly, I didn't like number 39 Gay Street. I don't think you would have liked it either. One of those old brownstone fronts they'd cut up into small apartments. And when we went up the steps that night and entered the hall, our landlord wasn't exactly overjoyed to see us.
I wasn't expecting you, Mrs. Troy, not till Thursday.
Well, I thought as long as the apartment was vacant. My husband's a writer, you see, and is very anxious to get to work.
Mr. Turner, we'd be glad to pay you for the 3 extra days.
Oh, it isn't that. You see, I haven't had the lights turned on, and the apartment isn't cleaned yet. I mean, perhaps if you stayed at a hotel tonight. By tomorrow, I could have everything ready.
Oh, but our furniture's on the way from Connecticut. It ought to be here in an hour or so. I guess we'll get... Jeff. Oh, what was that?
Well, it wasn't the 6 o'clock whistle.
It came from downstairs.
Mrs. Troy, I assure you it's nothing at all.
Mr. Turner, it happened again.
Well, what happened?
Down in the basement. That thing, whatever it is, it crawled across my feet.
Stop that, Mrs. Salter. Stop it at once. Now, go to my apartment and wait for me there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say, what did she mean?
Oh, you mustn't mind her, Mr. Troy. She's my janitor, you see. An excellent worker, strong as an ox, but when she works in the basement, she gets hallucinations. Absurd, isn't it?
Yeah. Still, well, if you'll lend us some candles, Mr. Turner, we'll have a look at our little nest. Come along, Nancy, let's go up.
Jeff, It isn't up, it's down.
Well, then, let's go down and see our... Down?
Yes, I forgot to tell you, it's the basement apartment.
It didn't look so bad by candlelight. The living room was pretty fair size, one door opening on the street and another opening on the hall. And the bedroom had a door that opened right out on a garden. That's what had Nancy so excited.
Oh, just imagine, darling, a garden right outside your bedroom in the heart of New York. Why, we can even have a vegetable garden.
Yeah, good soil. Lots of iron in it.
How do you know?
Well, isn't that a horseshoe lying there?
Oh, Jeff, you found a lucky piece. Pick it up.
Oh, where'll I wear it?
Well, you just hold it tight and make a wish.
Okay. I made it.
What did you wish?
Well, while we're waiting for our furniture, I wish we could find a restaurant where they have some steaks. Quite a name for a restaurant. Polly's Stable.
Must be a good place to put on the feed bag.
You funny man.
Good evening, folks. How's everything?
Well, the martinis are swell, but I need some toast.
Toast? What kind? White or rye?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I just want to stick it under the leg of this table.
Oh, it's very
Look,
funny.
Jeff, while you order dinner, I'll go and phone the cleaners about our drapes.
Well, I'm pretty hungry. Will you be back soon?
Uh-huh, and 2 shakes of a dry martini.
Listen, I had about enough stalling. You meet me tonight or it's going to be Peyton's.
Gosh, right in the next booth.
Yeah, let's meet the same place as before. 89 Gay Street, the basement apartment. You heard me. That's all.
39 Gay Street? The basement apartment? Oh, gee. Jeff, while I was in that telephone booth, Oh, excuse me, I didn't realize the waitress was still here.
Oh, she isn't the waitress. She just owns the joint. Darling, meet Polly. Polly, meet Darling.
Hello, darling.
How do you do?
Now, Nancy, you were saying...
Jeff, you see that man at the bar with the hair growing down on his forehead and the scar on his chin? I heard him threatening someone in the next booth, telling him to meet in our apartment.
Well, they couldn't meet in the telephone booth, so I guess that... Our apartment?
Yes, I distinctly heard him say 39 Gay Street, the basement apartment.
39 Gay Street?
Yes, do you know the place?
Oh, sure. I live there myself on the 2nd floor.
You do? Well, maybe you know who that...
Excuse me, folks. We're awful busy tonight. See you later. Enjoy your dinner.
Well, Jeff, she acted so strangely. What's it all about?
I think I'd better find out. I'm going over and have a talk with that guy.
Oh, no, Jeff, don't.
You just wait here, Nancy. Hiya, pal.
I'm not your pal, and keep your hands to yourself.
Just a minute. Who do you think you're shoving?
Well, you don't like it, huh? Well, maybe you'll like this.
Jeff! Oh, Jeff, darling. Open your eyes. Speak to me. Speak to me, please.
Is that guy still here?
No, he's gone. He ran out.
Okay, honey, what'll we talk about?
My hero. Now you'll need 2 steaks, one for your stomach and one for your eye.
Home, sweet home. And there's no place on earth I'd rather not be.
Jeff, it's awfully dark in here.
Yeah, it's lucky we brought these extra candles. Well, there we are. That gives us some light.
But don't you understand? I left a candle lit when we went out to dinner.
Oh. Well, it must have blown out. Any little draft could... Ouch!
What's the matter?
Ah, my foot. I stubbed my toe. Look, it's that darn horseshoe. My lucky piece, no less.
That's odd. What's it doing on the floor? You put it on the windowsill.
Say, that's right. How did it get
Jeff,
on...
listen. You hear that noise?
Sounds like water running. In the bathroom. I'd better have a look.
Oh, not without me.
All right. Here. Put this candle down on the floor. That's it. Steady now. You with me, Nancy? Nancy!
Jeff, look. The candle is moving.
Gosh.
What's so funny?
Look. It's a turtle. It must have come in from the garden. You put the candle right down on its back. Hey, that's what's been scaring Mrs. Salter, too, I bet you. Come on, let's have a look in the bathroom. There, you see? Just some water running out of the tub.
That's what I mean. Where did the water come from?
Here. Huh?
You know we didn't fill that tub.
That's right, you didn't. Oh, I know. That guy from the restaurant came in here to take a bath, but he was very modest, so he blew the candle out, and then he pitched horseshoes to dry himself off.
You funny man.
Well, there's no use getting all upset. I mean... Hey, what's that?
Maybe he's back again. Jeff, don't go.
Don't worry, I won't.
Anybody home? Got a load of furniture here.
Oh, it's just the furniture.
Imagine being scared by an overstuffed chair. It was quiet enough the rest of that night, but in the mornings things really started to happen. First of all, the police woke us up.
Sorry to get you folks out of bed, but the neighbors complain. There's a fella lying in your garden without any clothes on.
In our garden? Well, he's got a nerve. Go on, get him out of there. Wake him up.
I wish I could. He happens to be dead.
And then later, when they had us look at the corpse, Nancy had to go and blurt.
Why, Jeff. Jeff, it's the man you had a fight with in the restaurant last night.
Now, just let me get this straight, Mr. Troy. About this exchange of blows last night.
Inspector, there wasn't any exchange. Only 2 blows were struck. He struck my husband, and my husband struck the floor.
Oh, Nancy. I pushed him once, didn't I?
Well, what's one little push? You didn't murder him, did you?
Ooh, me?
Hey, say, Inspector.
Yes, Bowling?
I got a little dope for you. The guy's name was Kaufman, Louis Kaufman. He had an apartment up on the 3rd floor.
Who told you that?
You wouldn't guess in a million years. Remember during Prohibition, this place was a speakeasy? Joe's place it was called, and Joe had a partner?
Eddie Turner.
Yeah. Well, remember we grilled him when Joe disappeared? Well, little Eddie's still around. In fact, he's the landlord in this joint.
That's interesting.
Inspector Hankins?
Yes?
My name is Lingle. I have an apartment in this building.
Yeah, that's right, Chief. I got his name on the list.
I want you to know if I can help in any way.
Thank you, Mr. Lingle. We may call on you.
I'm in the phone book, the Lingle Art Studios. Any time at all, Inspector. Any time at all.
Inspector, if you don't mind my putting in a word.
Not at all, Mr. Troy.
I think you should have questioned him. After that conversation my wife overheard, you should question everyone in this house.
Mr. Troy, remember you live here, too.
Oh, that's silly. Jeff isn't the murderous type.
I didn't say he was. Come on, Bowling, let's go up and look at Kaufman's apartment.
Hey, wait a minute, Inspector. Just look at these books. Murder in the laundry. Murder in the air. Murder in the subway. Must be a couple of dozen of them. Hey, somebody's got murder on the brain.
Mr. Troy, you said you were a novelist. You didn't by any chance...
You bet. I wrote every one of them. Murder Mysteries by Jeffrey Yort. That's my name spelled backwards. Troyyort. Get it?
Yes. Didn't you write a book called Murder in Prison?
I sure did. How'd you like it, Inspector?
Well, I thought it was the kind of detective story that knits.
Knits? Oh, you mean all the clues fall into place?
No. I mean knits. Knits. You spell that backwards, too.
Knits. S-T-I-N...
Mr. Hankin. You're not a detective, Mr. Hankins. You're a critic.
Well, I guess that made me pretty mad. Made me want to show the inspector up. So while Nancy was throwing some breakfast together, I sort of wandered through the halls looking for clues. That's how I ran into Polly, you know, the girl we'd met the night before. Well, one thing led to another, and then she asked me in to have some coffee. And that's when it happened. I noticed a letter lying on the coffee table, and quite casually I read the address. To Mr. Andrew Brule, 507 West 12th. Only Polly seemed to get upset. She made a grab for the letter, but I got it first, just to tease her, you see, just for a gag. And there we are, sort of wrestling for it, and I guess she has her arms around me when all of a sudden Nancy shows up.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's all right, sweet. We were just kidding around.
Yes, over this letter.
Well, when you get through playing post office, Mr. Troy, your breakfast is ready.
Say, I think she's mad.
I'd better go and explain. Nancy, wait.
You stay away from me, you bluebeard.
Nancy, you're not jealous. Darling, that's silly.
You're never jealous, I suppose.
Of course I'm not.
How about when the butcher saved me that roast? You weren't jealous. Oh, no. Just mad enough to kill, that's all.
Darling, shh.
I will not shh. You were mad enough to kill.
Say, Mr. Troy.
Yes, Inspector.
I'd like to speak to you.
Oh, now, look what you've done.
Let's go down to your apartment, folks. A few more questions I'd like to ask. Now, Mr. Troy, did you ever see this horseshoe before?
Oh, sure. That's my lucky piece.
It wasn't so lucky for Louis Kaufman.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's dried blood on it. And these strands of hair are from the dead man's head.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that this horseshoe was the murder weapon?
Now you're getting hot. And I do mean hot.
Hey, say, Chief, we checked the fingerprints on that horseshoe. They're his, all right.
Whose?
Yours.
Okay, Troy. Get your hat and coat.
Oh, wait a minute. He hasn't done anything. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Jeff, darling, don't go. You haven't even had your breakfast.
Don't worry, honey. I had a cup of coffee upstairs with Polly.
Oh, with Polly. Inspector, take him along, and I hope he gets life.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
It's risky to grope your way around in a dark room, of course. A needless risk of bumps and bruises. But I'm sure you agree with me, it's far more risky to be in the dark about the care of your skin. To spend money on creams and lotions which may do some good, you hope. To try first one preparation, then another, hoping that surely this time you'll see some improvement in your skin. Let me ask you then, why grope in the dark? Why trust to chance? With Lady Esther Face Cream, you see exactly what's happening. You see instant, radiant results right on your own skin. This famous four-purpose face cream beautifies the tone, the texture, the entire appearance of your skin in a single application. If you'll give me 30 seconds, I'll prove it to you with the patch test. Just rub Lady Esther Face Cream on one patch of skin anywhere on your face. Then wipe it off, and compare that patch of skin with the rest of your face. See the difference, feel the difference with your fingertips. I promise no miracles, but I do promise results. I promise a smoother, clearer, finer-looking skin. And not in 30 days or even 30 minutes, but in 30 seconds. Lady Esther Face Cream contains the most beautifying ingredients known to science. It thoroughly cleans your skin, softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and it leaves a smooth, perfect base for your powder. Let the patch test show you proof of all this. Proof that Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream really keeps its promises.
And now the second act of A Night to Remember, starring Claire Trevor and Brian Donlevy.
Well, they kept me down at headquarters all that day. But then some new developments turned up, so that evening they let me go. Nothing else happened till late that night. I guess I was sleeping pretty soundly.
Jeff. Jeff, wake up.
Well, what's the matter now?
There's somebody in this apartment. I can hear him walking around.
Well, tell him to sit down. Huh? In this apartment?
Shh. Did you hear that sound?
I wish I hadn't.
Don't go out there. You might get killed.
Yeah, I know. But if I just stay here, I'll die of fright.
Your golf bag is standing here in the corner. Maybe you could hit him with a golf club.
I don't know. Never could hit a golf ball. Come on.
Oh, there he is, Jeff. I can see him outlined against the window.
Okay. Don't move now. I've got you.
Sure, you got him, only he didn't know about it. Now he's gone.
This is no time to argue, Nancy. Turn on a light.
Okay.
Hey, Nancy, look. He dropped his knife.
And knocked over the screen. Honestly, if men weren't so clumsy, they...
Hey, honey, this isn't our screen.
Oh, I know. Mr. Turner lent it to me to cover the window till our drapes got back.
Oh. Well, sure. There it is. He was scraping something off with that knife. See it, honey? Something 07 West 12th Street.
Oh, yeah, that first number looks like it might be a 5.
507 West 12th. Hey, that sounds familiar. I wonder where Wait a minute. I know. 507 West 12th. That was the address on Polly's letter.
The one she had to wrestle you for?
And the name was Brule, Andrew Brule. And somebody didn't want us to know it.
Well, it wasn't Polly. It was a man.
And it wasn't Turner. He's not that big.
Shh. Listen. Who's that?
Well, why don't you ask?
Yes? Who's there?
It's me, Mr. Lingle. I heard a noise, thought there might be some trouble. Can I be of any help?
Well, if you find a stray heart in your throat, it's mine.
It's all right, Mr. Lingle. Everything's under control.
That's fine. Good night.
Oh, such a nice man. Always wanting to help.
Well, that doesn't answer the question of Mr. Brule. Say, Nancy, call me a cab, will you? I'm going in and put on some clothes.
Jeff, it's after 1 o'clock.
Well, if Mr. Brule is a respectable guy, he'll be home and asleep, and I'm going to wake him up.
Oh, that's swell, except for one slight mistake.
Mistake?
Yes. We're going to wake him up.
Yes, what is it?
Good evening, madam. I'm sorry to disturb you, but it is very urgent that I see Mr. Brule.
Ain't no Mr. Brule here, and it ain't evening, it's morning, and you ought to be ashamed. Good night.
Mm-hmm. Cute kid.
Jeff, are you sure you have the right address?
Absolutely positive. Say, you know, it's funny his mail should be sent to a place where he doesn't even live. I think we ought to check with the post office, Nancy.
Oh, darling, not tonight.
No, I guess it could wait till morning.
Oh, here's the clerk now. Go ahead, Jeff. Ask him.
My name is Brule, Andrew Brule, 507 West 12th. I haven't been getting my mail lately, and will you please check and see if there's something wrong?
Why, Mr. Brule, you gave us instructions over a year ago to hold all mail in general delivery. Don't you remember?
Well,
he's so absent-minded.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, sometimes he even forgets he's married.
Well, that certainly clears things up for me.
It does?
Mr. Brule, I guess you just forgot. You called up here about an hour ago.
I did?
Sure. You asked if anyone had tried to pick up your mail. Sounded kind of worried, too.
Oh, he's just the worrying type. Come along, dear. There are others waiting.
Yes, that's right. Well, thanks, old man. I'm much obliged.
Not at all, Mr. Brule. Don't mention it.
Jeff, what do you think?
I think Mr. Brule is worrying, too. It's pretty clear now, Nancy. He's mixed up in this murder some way, and he knows we've gotten a line on him. Next thing, I guess he'll come after us.
Jeff, what'll we do?
What can we do? Just sit tight and wait, and when he comes, we'll grab him.
Jeff, what time is it now?
Oh, just a few minutes to midnight.
Midnight?
Say, what are you so scared about? We've got all the lights on, and I've got my trusty mid-iron here, and... Hey, the lights. Who turned those lights off?
Not me.
Oh, then it must have been the murderer. The fuse box is out in the hall.
Jeff, there's something coming through the door.
Steady now. Steady. All right, you. Whoever you are, you better give up. I've got you covered.
Oh, Jeff! Jeff!
I've got him, Nancy. Give me a hand, will you?
Oh, okay.
Shock him with something.
I'll try and
A
find
chair, anything. Get him, Nancy.
I'm coming, Jeff. I'll help you, darling. There, take that, you nasty man. I'll teach you not to hurt Jeff. I'll teach you to...
Hey. What hit me?
What, Jeff? It's you. Oh, darling, I'm sorry. It's so dark in here.
Yeah, maybe it is, but I can see stars. Hey, the murderer, where'd he go?
I don't know. That was the door, Jeff. He must have gone out.
Listen. Hey, police whistles. How did the cops get here?
How do you think? I called them up this afternoon.
Look, there go the lights on again.
They must have fixed the fuse.
Say, did you call the cops or an electrician?
Nice work, Mrs. Troy. We nabbed him all right.
Oh.
Who was it, Inspector?
Mr. Andrew Brule, alias Mr. Lingle.
Mr. Lingle? Who lives upstairs? The one who wanted to help?
Oh, that was a front, like his art studios were just a front for his blackmailing.
Blackmailing?
Sure. He was collecting from every person in this house, though they didn't know that Brule and Lingle were one and the same.
But how could he blackmail all those people?
Oh, easy enough. Just get something on them that might embarrass them. You know, it's funny the things that people will try to hide. And since he only spoke to them over the phone, they never guessed who he was.
But what about Kaufman? Why was he killed?
Well, I guess Kaufman was the only one who suspected the truth. And when he insisted on having a showdown, Lingle had to kill him to keep him quiet.
Well, I guess that closes that case, Inspector. I sure am glad I was in on the finish.
Finish is right, Mr. Troy. Only it might have been yours. We just took this knife off Lingle. Pretty mean looking, huh?
You mean he was going to...
Mrs. Troy, he's fainted.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Jeff, open your eyes. Darling, get up. Oh, please get up. You've got to get up. Jeff, you've got your good suit on.
Thank you, Brian Donlevy and Clara Trevor, for appearing with the Lady Esther Screen Guild players tonight. We are indeed grateful for your fine performances.
We're glad to be here, Mr. Bradley. We look forward to our appearances with the Lady Esther Screen Guild players because we know that the benefits from these programs go to support the Motion Picture Relief Fund and the wonderful work being done at the Country House. And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Trevor. Ladies, there's a clever milliner in New York who uses only delicate, pink-tinged mirrors. Do you know why? Because such mirrors make her customers look younger and lovelier, make all her hats look more flattering. Now, the flattery of a mirror vanishes the moment you walk away from it. But not so the flattery of Lady Esther's new bridal pink face powder. It stays with you, soft and luminous, making you look years more youthful and glamorous to everyone who glances your way. Bridal pink is a shade of powder especially blended for the young in heart, the gay in spirit. It's a shade for those who refuse to look plain, who dare to look provocative. I know you'll love the smooth, smooth look of bridal pink on your skin, the way it gives life and tone to your face, sparkle to your eyes. Yes, and even makes your features appear smaller and daintier. It doesn't matter whether your hair is black, blonde, auburn, or brown. Bridal pink is intensely flattering to practically every skin. And as you know, Lady Esther face powder is famous for the way it covers up little lines and blemishes, the way it clings, too, hour after hour. Yes, you can look so much lovelier this spring, so easily. Just switch to Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream and glamorous new Lady Esther Bridal Pink Face Powder.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Her First Bowl. It will star Elizabeth Taylor, Walter Brennan, and Lon McAllister. Be sure to listen. A Night to Remember was presented through the courtesy of Columbia Pictures, producers of Gilda, starring Rita Hayworth. Brian Donlevy is currently being seen in the Paramount Technicolor production, The Virginian. Clara Trevor will soon be seen in the RKO radio picture, Cracker. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you, and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, Her First Bowl. The starring players...
This is Lon McAllister.
This is Elizabeth Taylor.
And this is Walter Brennan.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild players in Columbia Pictures' heartwarming teenage comedy, Her First Bowl. It stars Elizabeth Taylor as Penny Wood, Lon McAllister as Chuck Harris, and Walter Brennan as Elmer Tuttle. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players in Her First Bowl.
Tuttle's the name, folks. Elmer Tuttle. And I figure I'm the one to tell this story on account of, well, I was sort of in the middle. You know, almost anything can happen when you get mixed up with a couple of kids, especially if one of them's Penny Wood. Penny's mighty fine youngster, too. Except, of course, she's got ideas, and when a girl like Penny gets ideas...
But, Mother, you didn't have to go and get me a dress. I don't want a new dress. I want a typewriter.
And what would you wear to the party Saturday? A typewriter ribbon?
I don't care anything about the party. Society means nothing to me. I just want to lock myself up in my room and write and write and write.
About what?
I haven't made up my mind yet. But after all, I'm 15 now, Mother. Don't you think I ought to start my career? Don't you think...
If you really want to know what I think about a girl 15, Penny...
Yes?
I think she ought to begin to wash her ears.
Now, a girl like Penny, well, you can figure she's apt to have a boy around. Yes, sir. His name is Chuck Harris. Chuck, he's about 16, I reckon, and believe me, he's got ideas, too.
But I don't want to be a lawyer, Dad. I want to be an engineer. I want to go to
Chuck, I don't want to hear any more about tech.
Oh.
Or about your flying, either.
Gee, Dad, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care about flying. I just want to build planes. Big ones, big clippers that
I've told you to forget it.
But I can't, Dad. It's like... Well, look, supposing Shakespeare's father said, you've got to stop writing plays. Or, Mr. Paderewski's father said, I'm going to chop up your piano for kindling wood.
Nonsense. You're not a Shakespeare or a Paderewski either. And let me warn you, Chuck. Don't go getting any notions about building another glider plane. Now, if you do, I'll find it and destroy it myself. I simply will not see you break your neck in the air.
Yes, sir. That's Penny and that's Chuck. Two of a kind, and thick as thieves. Why, Penny was the only one knew Chuck was building that glider plane out to my place. Maybe I had not let him do it, knowing how Mr. Harris felt, but that Chuck, he could talk the devil out of his horns. Anyway, it might have been all right if only Mervyn hadn't come home. Mervyn, he's Penny's uncle, you see, Mrs. Wood's brother. He ain't but 5 years older than Penny, and he's just come home from his first year in college. Worse luck, he didn't come alone.
Fellow I drove down with stopped to get a tire fixed. I asked him to stay over the weekend. Do you know who it is, sis?
Someone important?
It's Roger Van Vleck.
You mean that killer dealer you've been writing home about?
Well, I haven't written about him so much.
Oh, haven't you? Lives in New York and Florida. Plays the accordion.
Oh, Penny. You run up and move your things into my room. You'll have to let Roger take yours.
Oh, Mother, no. I've got to have my room to lock myself into.
Well, what on earth for?
To write. You've got to be alone to do anything really big.
Well, you'll have to put your writing off for a few days or write something not quite so big. Run along now.
All right. But you don't know what you're doing to me.
Say, sis, is Julie Harris home from school yet?
She'll be here for the party Saturday night.
Good. I told Raj I wanted him to meet her and give me some tips. Just give that glamour boy 5 minutes with the stiffest zombie, and boom, she's a cuddle cat.
Would you mind saying that again in English?
Cuddle cat? Why, that's a girl who, you know.
No, but I'm learning. And if your friend's such a ladies' man, I only wish he were going to tell Cook there'll be 2 more for dinner.
Just kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was here.
Nobody was. I just came in.
Say, you can't be Miss Penelope Wood.
Why not?
Well, but Mervin's... Why, the old fox. He said you were a scrawny little kid, only 15.
Oh, he did he? Well, how old do you think I am?
Well, it's pretty hard to tell a woman's age nowadays. 19, 20, maybe 21.
Oh! Well, you're not so very wrong. Won't you sit down, Mr. Van Vleck?
Thanks. Do you mind if I smoke, Miss Wood?
Oh, not at all.
Perhaps you'd like one.
Oh, no. I mean, I've given it up.
You know, I felt sure you'd say that.
Huh?
I just knew you were one of those really feminine women.
Well, yes, I am. I really am. I mean, a really feminine woman doesn't smoke because it isn't feminine.
You're absolutely right, Miss Wood. Of course, I recognize that. I'm a cosmopolite.
Oh, I thought you were an American.
Well, I am, but I've been to Europe twice.
Twice? Oh, of course it's different for a man to smoke. All the men I know smoke, except Chuck Harris. And his father gave him $20 to promise he wouldn't, and he spent every cent of it on his sailplane.
Well, that's very... Oh, wait. Don't move.
What is it?
You with the light through your hair. Oh, that's beautiful. You ought always to wear red. It's your color.
Red? Oh, red.
Hey, Penny. Hey, Penny, I think I found...
Oh, it's you.
Who else? Well, you knew I was coming over for supper.
May I be presented?
Huh?
Mr. Van Vleck, this is Chuck. I mean Mr. Harris, who lives across the street. Mr. Harris, this is Mr. Van Vleck, who's visiting us. Mr. Van Vleck is visiting here from New York and Florida.
Glad to meet you, Harris. I've just been hearing about your sailplane from Miss Wood.
From who?
From me.
Oh. Well, what were you talking so much about me for?
Naturally, one talks about one's friends. What else is there for one to talk about?
Hey, where do you get talking that one stuff?
Oh, one just talks the way one always does.
Hey, Roger, your room is ready.
Oh, I'll be right up, Mervyn. Hold everything, beautiful. I'll just whip up and wash for dinner. See you later, Harris.
Old stuff and snippers.
What did you say?
I said old stuff and snippers.
Chuck Harris, you're speaking about a man who's a real cosmopolite.
A what?
A cosmopolite. And if you weren't so ignorant, you'd know that means going to Europe twice.
Well, I think he's swacky.
Oh, you do you? Well, I think he's wonderful. And now, if you'll pardon me, I'll just whip up and wash for dinner.
Wash for dinner? Gosh, I think she's swacky, too.
Penny?
Yes, Mother?
Penny, the beauty shop called me this afternoon.
Did they?
Yes. You know, I think it's nice that you're taking an interest in your looks, and it was all right to have your hair and nails done, but really, darling, did you need that treatment to remove wrinkles?
They advertised it in the paper, Mother, and it's guaranteed to take 10 years off your age.
Well, I think that would make you a little young. Oh, and another thing, you're wearing your new dress again tonight. It won't be fresh for the party tomorrow.
You're absolutely right, Mother. I ought to have another dress for the party. There's a perfectly lovely one down at the Bonton.
Oh, Penny, that awful place.
It isn't awful, and it's the awfiest dress you ever saw. It's called Glamour Girl. All red with a gold belt and black velvet poppies. And absolutely nothing over the shoulders. Not even a strap.
What holds it up?
Why, your figure. Or, something.
Or something. Well, if I were you, dear, I'd just forget it.
Oh, he's wonderful. Wonderful. And he bought me a bottle of cologne today. And he kissed me. And the way he plays the accordion. Just for me. Mr. Roger Van Vleck. Mr. and Mrs. Roger Van Vleck.
Hey, Penny!
Chuck Harris, what are you doing over here?
Well, I'm generally over here, aren't I? Unless you're over at our place. Here, I brought you an ice cream cone.
Maple nut.
Yeah, it's got strawberry underneath. Hey, look, Penny. You got the first, the last, and the supper dance with me tomorrow night, see? I'm not going to get stuck with one of those snooty dames I got to be polite to.
Listen here, Mr. Charles Knowlton Harris. A gentleman doesn't ask a lady to save the first, last, and supper just so he won't have to be polite.
You talk like it was some kind of a special treat to have the first, last, and supper with you.
Maybe it's not to you, but I guess some people... Anyway, I regret to inform you that I'm already engaged for the first, last, and supper dance.
You don't have to make a song out of it. Who've you got him with?
With Mr. Roger Van Vleck. And he'll be wearing a tuxedo with a white coat.
He would. The drip. Well, anyway, I got more important things on my mind. I painted the sailplane today.
You did?
Uh-huh. And as soon as it's dry, I'm going to fly it clear across the lake and back.
Across the lake, Chuck?
Well, sure. Why not? With that new stabilizer I built, I bet I can sail that plane for about...
Chuck!
It's Elmer.
Hey, Chuck, quick, what'll I do with your glider I got on my truck?
On your truck? What for?
I met your pa a little while ago, and he kind of suspicions you were building that plane out to my place. Said he was coming out tomorrow to look.
Where can we hide it? It's so big.
We couldn't hardly handle it, let alone the fresh paint.
I've got to think of some place. I've got to.
How about your old chicken house?
That's too small.
Garage?
No, Dad'd see it.
I know. The house next door's empty. We can put your glider in their garage.
Oh, that's it, Penny. Thanks.
Now, wait a minute, Chuck. How long you aim to keep it there?
Oh, just for tomorrow, Elmer. Dad'll go to your place to look for it, see, and he won't find it. And then tomorrow night, when the party's on, we'll load it in the back of your truck, and I'll fly it Sunday. All right, Elmer?
Well, yeah, I guess.
What do you mean, you guess?
Well, he can fly it Sunday. If he can fly it at all.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Perhaps you sometimes think your husband takes you for granted. But I wonder, have you ever stopped to think there may be a reason? Perhaps you take your appearance for granted. What about your skin, for example? Does it look a bit drab and neglected, as skin so often looks in the springtime? Take a really close look in your mirror. Is your skin dry and flaky, getting to look a little older? Now listen, I say you can have a fresher, more youthful-looking skin in just one application of Lady Esther face cream. I not only say that, I can prove it. Yes, I can prove it in 30 seconds, right on your own skin, with the patch test. Wouldn't you like this easy and interesting proof? Well, just rub Lady Esther face cream on one patch of skin, on, say, your forehead or perhaps your cheek. Then wipe it off. And compare that patch of skin with the rest of your face. See how much clearer and smoother it looks. Touch it with your fingers and feel the difference. You see, Lady Esther face cream contains the most beautifying ingredients known to science. Applied to the skin, this famous four-purpose face cream instantly dissolves and absorbs the flaky dryness, the clinging waste and impurities. It also softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and provides a wonderfully smooth, satin-like base for powder. All this exciting improvement for your husband to admire. And the patch test shows you proof of it, not in 30 days or even 30 minutes, but in 30 seconds, proof that Lady Esther face cream does give instant new freshness and beauty to your skin.
And now the second act of Her First Beau, starring Walter Brennan, Elizabeth Taylor, and Lon McAllister.
Well, we stowed Chuck's glider into that next-door garage, and along about then the trouble really started. You see, Julie Harris, that's Chuck's sister, the one that Mervyn is kind of sweet on. She comes home from school ahead of time, and she meets this Mr. Roger Van Fleck, and darn if that glamour boy don't start to sparkle right from under Mervyn's nose. And you can just about imagine what that did to Penny. I declare I never seen a kid so kind of desperate. You should have heard her talking to her ma.
But, Mother, I can't wear my last year's dress to that party. That dress is a disgrace. You said so yourself.
I also said you were not to wear your new one last night, and you did, and got green paint on it, heaven knows how.
I was only helping Chuck to... That's got nothing to do with it. Please, Mother, please. If you could just see that dress in the window. It's red. Oh, heavenly red. And they call it Glamour Girl.
Penny, dear, I'm tired. Let's pretend you've told me for the 10th time all the reasons why you want that dress, and for the 10th and last time, the answer is still no.
What are you doing, Elmer?
Oh, counting my money, maybe.
Money? How much you got there?
$15.
$15?
Yeah, but I ain't giving it to nobody, Penny. This money ain't mine. It's Chuck's.
Chuck?
Yep. He's going to fly that big glider tomorrow. This money's for the hire motorboat. So as if he comes down the lake, I can tow him in.
Where's Chuck now?
Down at the garage. Say, what are you aiming to do?
Nothing. Only don't you go away. You wait right here with that money till I get back. Oh, Chuck!
Look, Penny, the paint's almost dry.
Chuck Harris, you're not going to try that glider tomorrow.
Anybody ask you?
Well, I mean... Look, Chuck, I've been thinking and thinking about it. Suppose your inventions don't work. Suppose that stabilizer isn't any good. Suppose you get killed.
You gotta take some risks.
But I can't stand worrying about you. Honestly, Chuck, I couldn't enjoy the party tonight thinking you're going to do that tomorrow.
Have you gone swacky?
No, but if you crashed down and hurt yourself, I just couldn't stand it. Growing up next door to you and all, you'd just about kill me.
Honest, Penny, I didn't know you felt like that. I wouldn't want you to worry.
But I would. I'd worry like anything. You won't do it, will you? Promise me you won't.
But I've got to. You know I've got to.
You mean even knowing how I feel?
I've got to.
But I've got to have that $15.
Was all that song and dance just so you could borrow that money?
No, Chuck, honestly.
Honest nothing. I wouldn't trust you across the street, twisting a fella around till he doesn't know where he's at just so you can get at his money. You gold digger.
Oh, Chuck.
Oh, what are you sniffling about? Now, no use trying to get around me that way. I don't care how hard you cry. You can cry yourself blind. Oh, stop it, will you, Penny? Please, cut it out.
Calling me a gold digger when I was just worrying about how you might break your neck or a leg or something.
Well, maybe I wasn't. Sure, Penny, I was wrong.
After I spoiled my dress, helping you move your old glider.
But what can I do?
Listen, Elmer doesn't have to pay for the motorboat till he takes it, does he?
No, I suppose not.
Then lend me the money and I'll give it to you in the morning, sure.
But suppose you don't.
I will. If I tell you I will,
Oh, all right, Penny, all right. But Elmer's got the money. He may have gone.
No, he hasn't. He's waiting to go to the Bonton for me. Oh, Chuck, you've made this the most wonderful party I was ever going to.
Oh, Penny, darling, they've started to dance out in the badminton court. Don't you think you ought to be dressed?
Oh, there's lots of time. Mother, when did you fall in love with Dad? I mean, when did you know?
Well, that's rather difficult to... As a matter of fact, I think it was the day I slapped his face.
Slapped his... Why'd you do that?
Well, he turned the hose on my brother. It hit my new hat. I slapped him. He kissed me, and there we were.
But why should slapping him make him kiss you?
I've been wondering about that for 20 years.
Come in.
Oh, say, Penny, here's your... Oh. Hello, Mrs. Wood. Sorry, I didn't know you were here.
It's all right, Elmer. Just leave the package.
Yes.
Penny, that box doesn't contain a red dress by any chance.
Well, you see, Mother,
With nothing on the shoulders? Not even straps?
I had to get it, Mother. I just had to. You don't know what Julie's doing to Roger.
Penny, dear, she couldn't do it if he didn't let her.
She could, because she's older and she knows how. All right, I've got to be a woman of the world, too. Listen, you're my mother. You can make me put on that old last year's party dress with sleeves. But I'm warning you, if you do, I'll never forgive you. Never as long as I live.
No, I don't believe you ever would.
Now are you going to be mean and cruel and make me wear that old rag? Or are you going to let me wear the glamour, girl?
Penny, I'm going to be mean and cruel. I'm going to let you wear the glamour girl.
Gosh, Chuck, you don't reckon nobody saw us leave the party, do you?
No, they're all too busy dancing, Elmer.
It sure sounds like something funny's happening.
Yeah. Come on, we gotta get the sailplane loaded.
Chuck!
Dad!
So this is where you hid it, son.
Gee, Dad,
I warned you. I warned you I'd find that glider and destroy it.
Oh, but you can't, Dad, you can't. I've worked for months on it. It's even got my new stabilizer
We
in it.
won't discuss it. And I'll take care of it later. I want you to close that garage up and come right back to the party. You too, Elmer.
Doggone it. What a break.
Come on, Elmer. Back your truck up. We gotta get this glider on it. Hurry.
It's no use, Chuck. You just come to my place in the morning.
Well, it won't matter then. I'm gonna fly it tonight.
Hey, you can't do that. You can't see in the dark. Suppose you come down to the lake.
I've got to, Elmer. I've got to see if it works. I've got to fly that sailplane before Dad breaks it up. Come on.
Penny, dear.
They laughed at me, Mother. They said things about my dress. And they laughed.
There now, dear, it's not that serious.
But Roger was there. And he laughed, too. And Julie. Oh, I feel like I want to just die.
Oh, you mustn't, darling. A woman of the world wouldn't talk that way.
Mrs. Wood.
Oh, Mr. Harris.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I can't find Chuck. I thought perhaps
Well, I haven't seen him for almost an hour.
Well, Elma's not around either, and that glider of Chuck's has gone from the garage.
You mean you found it?
I was going to chop it up this morning.
But if Chuck knew that, if it's gone, oh, Mother, we've got to do something.
Do what, Penny?
I know, Chuck, I tell you. He'll try to fly that sailplane tonight, before it's broken up. Oh, Mother, without even a motorboat.
Penny, what in the world?
Because he gave the money he saved for the boat, in case he fell in the lake.
In the lake?
Oh, dear. I'll phone the landing. Tell the police to get out some boats.
I'll get the doctor and go down to the lake. We're only in time.
Wait, I want to go. Please, Mother, let me go.
No, Penny. You'd better wait here with me.
But I can't. I can't just sit here and wait.
I'm afraid you'll have to, dear. That's what a woman always does when she's grown up.
It's all my fault, Mother. I took Chuck's money for that dress.
Oh, hush, dear, hush.
Just for a silly dress. Maybe I killed him.
Don't cry, darling.
I'm not crying. I can't cry. Isn't it funny, Mother? When Roger laughed at me, I cried and cried. I wanted to die. Now I can't cry. Because it hurts so here.
Oh, Penny, darling.
Oh, Mother, if anything happens to Chuck...
Penny! Hey, Penny!
Oh, Penny, that's Chuck. Well, I better go to see to our guests. I'll be back later.
Hey, Penny!
Oh, Chuck, you're safe.
I made it, Penny, all the way over the lake and back. I'd still be flying if I hadn't...
Look at your head.
Oh, that's just a bump. I tell you, my stabilizer worked. And Dad says I can go to Tech and then...
Chuck Harris, after going up like that, scaring a girl almost to death, you come back. You dare to come back and talk about...
I just said I was going to Tech.
Oh, why, you!
Hey.
Oh, Chuck, I didn't mean to slap you. I don't know what made me.
Hey, have you gone swacky?
It was just being so scared and then seeing you. What's the matter? Why are you looking at me like that?
Gee whiz, Penny, but you sure look swell in that red dress.
You mean that, Chuck?
Gosh, I never saw you look anything like that before.
Is it just because I slapped you?
Oh, not exactly. But why did you?
I don't know, Chuck. I don't know at all. But just stick around. Just stick around. I might know the answer in 20 years.
On behalf of the Motion Picture Relief Fund, thank you, Lon McAllister, Walter Brennan, and Elizabeth Taylor for your charming and refreshing performances tonight.
Well, Mr. Bradley, this is my first appearance with the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players, and it's a first for Lon, too, since he returned from the service. But we both hope to be back again soon and share in the wonderful work being done by the Motion Picture Relief Fund in its country house. Now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from Lady Esther.
Thank you, Elizabeth Taylor. Ladies, I know you have sometime tried to match a shade of fabric and found how difficult it can be to find just exactly the shade you want. Well, it can be ever so much more difficult to find the right shade of face powder for your skin, the shade that is best for your particular coloring. But you have no such problem when you choose Lady Esther's new Bridal Pink, for this exquisite new shade is equally flattering to all 4 basic skin types. It doesn't matter whether your hair is blonde, brown, auburn, or black. Lady Esther Bridal Pink is specially blended to intensify your natural coloring, to heighten its richness and beauty. Women write me that the touch of Bridal Pink instantly animates the whole face, gives it life and warmth. They tell me they love the smooth, flawless look Lady Esther face powder gives their skin. They declare it makes them look so much younger. You see, Lady Esther face powder is so extremely fine. It completely covers up and hides tiny lines and blemishes. And my, how it clings, hour after hour, always fresh and lovely as though just applied. To look your loveliest this spring, try this. First apply Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. Wipe it off. Then apply Lady Esther Bridal Pink Face Powder. Bridal Pink, the shade that's so young, so gay, so very glamorous.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players will present The Devil and Miss Jones. It will star Guy Kibbe, Lorraine Day, and Van Johnson. Be sure to listen, will you? Her first Beau was presented through the courtesy of Columbia Pictures, producers of Gilda, starring Rita Hayworth. Walter Brennan will soon be seen in the 20th Century Fox production Centennial Summer. Elizabeth Taylor appeared through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of The Postman Always Rings Twice. Lon McAllister is currently working in the Saul Lesser production, The Red House. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.